seems like a prison of some kind. There are also chains that seem shaking, straining someone. The shot then backs away, and we see a prisoner held with 2 chains restraining his hands. The second page portraits the sage of 6 paths Hagoromo Otsutsuki saying, "Committed to a mission and wanted to immerse the whole world in eternal sleep, what an irony," and then he turned to Madara and says, "Wake up, Madara." Madara seems to be conscious, also he does not seem tired or injured from what happened the last time we saw him when the war was over. As Madara wakes up, he asks, "Is this really the sage of the 6 paths?" The sage replies that he is Hagoromo Otsutsuki. Madara's first instinct was to break the chains that binds him. The sage tells him that he needs to calm himself and also he can't break those chains. But by changing, you can break them. Madara replies, "What do you mean?" The sage replies that the world needs his abilities. And he can fight for a purpose rather than wage wars and cause destruction. Madara replies, "Is this really necessary?" Hagoromo Otsutsuki continues to explain that Madara now has the opportunity to step on and become a defender rather than a destroyer, and he will be fighting against a powerful opponent. Madara takes a minute as he tries to grasp the situation. I really think the words of the sage hit a nerve, because Madara fully understands that he did take the wrong path in the past. Then, with a powerful swing, Madara breaks the chains that binds him as he replies, "I will correct the mistakes of the past." Madara asks, "How serious is the situation right now?" The sage replies that the enemy is gaining momentum and they will not stand on ceremony as they continue their path of destruction. The next page reveals that the sage will bestow the powers of Indra and Ashura, and Madara will use these powers as he sees fit. The sage tells Madara that the powers that he will bestow upon the latter is his, and he needs to do the right thing this time. Madara replies, "Don't worry, this time I'll end it without wars." The sage of the 6 paths smiles as he seems to understand that Madara's vision has changed and he is now burdened with a true purpose. Then the sage gives Madara something telling him that it will help him on his arrival. After that, Madara feels 2 taps on his shoulders. They are Indra and Ashura as they bestow the powers of 6 paths to Madara Uchiha. Madara seems to open up some kind of a portal, then the sage tries to say something, then he just smiles. The shot cuts back to Sasuke Uchiha as he feels the searing pain in his left eye. Sasuke says that this feeling, it can't be. Sasuke changed his path. Chapter 2, Return. The first page reveals Madara being kept in a rejuvenating capsule as he awakens. So what we saw in the last chapter was a vision/a dreamlike state of Madara meeting the sage and acquiring the powers of Indra and Ashura. Madara opens his eyes as he uses this powerful dojutsu to break the capsule and set himself free. Madara is now revived in the real world. He seems to be in some kind of underground laboratory. Madara asks, "What is this place?" As Madara searches the place, he finds files containing body number 13. Which can be traced back to Madara. So whatever organization was, it kept Madara's body in a near-perfect condition after he lost in the war. The files describe the Madara project as a resurrection project, and these are secret files containing reports and state of the body of Madara. Some of the files contains Otsutsuki clan. Madara is certain that this is the threat the sage of the 6 paths spoke about. The Otsutsuki and its clan. The scrolls also reveals, as Madara kept reading, that there are other representatives of the clan which are on a whole different levels of power. Madara then said that it is not a surprise that my resurrection became an emergency measure. These information and reports, who is behind them? If this turned out to be true, then I have no time to waste. I need to get out of this place and discover who's pulling the strings behind the scenes. The dojutsu that Madara used to release himself made a loud noise, which drawed a staff member of the clan as he said, "This is impossible? How did he get out?" Madara is discovered now. He knows that there is no way but to fight. Madara's punch was so powerful that the clan member couldn't respond back. Madara tried asking him, "What is this place? Who is behind all this?" As Madara was asking him, he was hit by another very powerful clan member, carrying a hammer as weapon. The attack was so powerful that the hammer crumbled when it contacted the body of Uchiha Madara. Without a second, though, Madara rips the chest of the attacker as he realized that the Hashirama cells begin to act and heal his body and his power has returned. The attacker dies instantly in a very bloody and gruesome scene. As Madara began to advance, an entire squad blocked his path. Madara asks, "Who are these people? Those identification symbols, are they a private organization? But now there are more important things to do." Madara Uchiha charges towards the squad as the squad charges towards Madara. This is very reminiscent when Madara faced an entire army. Of course, Madara rips through them with minimum efforts as he charges up his Susanoo, escaping the place. As Madara escapes, he uses a Mukuten technique to hide the hole he created when he activated Susanoo. Madara says that he does not feel the power that Sage bestowed upon him, so he thinks that his body is still recovering. The minute panel shifts to another dimension. Someone menacing decides to head to Earth. How will the shinobi world answer to this threat? The unknown enemy is finally making his move. He seems to venture deeper in the forest. He comes across a deserted hut. Madara said that he does not feel the presence of anyone in this place. Madara enters as he's seen skulls everywhere. Whoever was living here has died a long time ago. Madara finds some abandoned clothes as he said this might be useful to me. As Madara changes his clothes, he seems to reflect back on his past actions. He takes a teddy bear toy he finds, and put it right beside the little girl's skull as he says, "Do you see this Hashirama? So much time has passed, but what I see is children losing their lives in a very young age. Nothing has changed, everything is back to its original state. Just like before." And then the panel cuts to a memory of Madara when he was a child. Young Madara tells his little brother Izuna that he should not show emotion as a shinobi, that's how they were taught. Emotions are a short gateway that leads nowhere. Then Madara said, "Can a child really throw away his emotions so easily?" Izuna continues to cry as Madara tries to make him understand that he must become stronger. The loved ones that they lost may have died, but their will live on with us. Then Madara tells Izuna, "I will always love you and protect you, my brother, as long as I am alive." This scene is extremely similar to when Itachi was telling Sasuke that he will be always there for him. Izuna asks Madara, "Do you promise?" Madara replies, "I promise." Madara also reflects on a time he was friends with Hashirama. He feels that he was weak and could not stop these continuous ravaging wars that costs a lot of lives. Madara also remembers the time he lost Izuna and his whole world shattered. The inevitable desire of revenge started right then and there. Madara is reminiscent of a time his mind was consumed by darkness, hatred, and revenge. "I have failed to attain my goal, but with every failure comes experience, but experience does not guarantee that the next goal will be a success. Becoming obsessed with this goal, I completely lost my humanity. There is only a goal and tools to achieve it, nothing else. I hated everyone, those who denied me a step from triumph." Madara remembers that he was betrayed by those he considered the embodiment of his will. He is talking about Zetsu. In the end, darkness and hate will not result in anything good. Hashirama taught me this. And here I am again, thrown into the same hell ages ago. But this time I will make adjustment to my goal and achieve it properly. This is a completely new side of Madara that we did not see before. He seems to regret his past actions and fully understand the chance he was given to change his way of seeing things this time. As Madara changes his clothes, he realized that no one is around in that area. Madara realizes crossing the forest on foot will take a lot of time. "Time to try something," he said. Madara activates his Rinnegan as he opens a portal through which he travels. 6-path technique, partial time. As Madara lands, he realizes that there could be a mistake, because this is not the place he was heading. Is this a teleportation error? Right then and there, he was met with an unknown masked man. The masked cloaked man reveals that he does not believe that Uchiha Madara is right in front of him. So guys, this man is the one who manipulated Madara's teleportation jutsu and brought him to a different dimension. Who is this man? Is Madara facing an ally or a new threat? As Madara creates a portal with his Rinnegan, he seems to enter a different dimension. It seemed that his portal was manipulated with a mysterious man. Chapter 4, The Observer. The mysterious hooded man said that he cannot believe the person standing before him right now is Uchiha Madara. Madara stays silent for a moment. Madara replies, "Think what you think, I don't really care. However, what you need to understand right now is you are standing in my way. Are you really testing your destiny?" The hooded man replies, "I do not intend to end up like those soldiers." A second of opening your eyes, you were able to annihilate an entire squad in mere seconds. That is really impressive. However, for now, I will avoid ending up like those soldiers. Before we continue, this amazing art was created by the very talented Deontay. Let's help him reach more followers on Twitter and assist him to get a better exposure, because his talent should be noticed by all. These panels are so beautifully drawn and his art is very similar to Lord Kishimoto himself. Let's continue. The hooded man unveils his cloak as he seems to be wearing a white mask. He introduces himself as Shirou. He tells Madara that he is here to help him. Shirou continues that he is a simple observer. Before we continue, as an advance in our trust, I will return this to you, Shirou adds. He reveals the gunbai of Madara. Shirou continues to tell Madara that he found it after 5 years of the Great Fourth Ninja War. Then Shirou throws the weapon to Madara. Madara replies, "You managed to pinpoint and intercept my teleportation technique, and also redirected it to a dimension you saw fit. Very interesting. It seems that there are still talents in the shinobi world after all." Shirou says to himself that he was able to read my technique and even change it a bit. What else I expected from Uchiha Madara? You have correctly noticed, once again confirming that even death cannot dull your skills, but now my technique does not have meaning. But let me repeat myself. I am here to help you, Madara Uchiha. Having a different intentions, would I have returned the blacksmith his hammer? Madara replies, "You have returned me my gunbai. Now the best help you can offer me is to stay away. Only in the hands of the owner is this fan capable of unlocking all its potential." Shirou replies, "Before showing me its true potential, I should give you a reality check. You understand, Madara, right? You have been absent for far too long from this reality. A lot of things happened while you were sleeping. It's obvious that a figure like you cannot just enter this reality without violating its integrity." Madara replies, "You speak confidently as if you were planning to meet me. Was I resurrected not by chance?" Madara asks. Shirou replies, "Maybe. I would be surprised if it turns out to be the will of God himself. The shinobi world is in terrible decline. This is what I wanted to talk about." Later, after the end of the Fourth Great Ninja War, people seem to find themselves in an ideal world, in their opinion. The 7th Hokage Uzumaki Naruto became the bridge to the bright future between the 5 great shinobi countries. The unity of the shinobi around the world has reached another level. It has created a very strong interaction that all threats were eliminated right at the roots. But of course, in this reality, there will always be surprises. But what if this threat is too powerful to be stopped? The Otsutsuki arrived, and it seems that their motive is the chakra in the earth itself. The same chakra that once was given to people by this alien clan. Madara replies, "Alien clan?" Even the strongest Uzumaki and Uchiha Sasuke could barely cope with such devastating powers. Mama Shiki, he's like a disaster, brought a power unlike anything I have seen before. However, Uzumaki Naruto was able to hold the enemy's forces on set using all of his remaining powers. He truly was a special shinobi. Be that as it may, Mama Shiki has been successful at capturing him. The people have lost their true savior. The fate of the Hokage is in the wind now as the confidence in the future begins to dwindle. With the disappearance of the Hokage, the shinobi world seems to be divided into 2 main factions. Those who believe that the 7th Hokage abandoned them, and those who believe that the Hokage died heroically trying to protect everyone. The alliance was shaken and soon cracked. Those who were truly loyal stayed in the alliance. As for the others, the apostle, have began acting based on their own interest and motivations. It is the Nukanins, an unknown organization that acts in the interest of Otsutsuki. Its number is less than the alliance. Of course, both factions clashed numerous times. The way it stands, the world is thrown into chaos, violence, and deception. Even the alliance forces could not produce visible results. There was no hope left for anyone, not the old, and certainly not the young. Surely all this reminds you of something? Madara Uchiha. As Madara seems shocked, it's the same period Madara was born in. It's as if the history is repeating itself. Shirou continues, now, your return should be symbolic, Madara Uchiha. The situation itself calls for the ghost of the Uchiha to return. Madara questions, why should I trust you? Shirou replies, you don't have to, I just observe, but be sure that I didn't tell you any lies. This is how the world is right now. Shirou continues, the fate of the 7th is still unknown, he could be sealed away for eternity, or maybe even dead. As Shirou kept talking, he seemed to stop suddenly as the expression of shock overwhelms his face. Madara asks, what is it? Shirou replies that a portal is opening so far from here, with an unprecedented level of chakra. Madara replies, let me handle this. I'll eat them. I need to use your ability. Madara asks if Shirou can redirect his portal and send him to the exact location from the unknown portal emerged. There is no time to waste. This is a gamble, Shirou replies, this will be risky, I will have to use a lot of chakra and you will lose some of your strength again. I can try, but the distance is very far. Madara replies, you want to help, right? Just do as I say, create a portal now. Madara uses his Rinnegan as he creates a portal as Shirou said. As Shirou activates his abilities, Senpo, Art of Ninja, Track Block. Madara enters this unknown dimension. And guess who shows up? Isshiki Otsutsuki. Madara in a very confident and powerful voice asks Isshiki, are you ready to dance? Isshiki replies, since when cockroaches jump under the slippers themselves. Now two powerhouses are about to collide in a legendary battle. Chapter 5 Collision. Madara enters a battle with a formidable opponent. In a split second, Madara was able to instant transmit before Isshiki swinging his gunbai with great force. Isshiki easily evades as Madara kept attacking and pushing the enemy behind. Then Madara delivered a successful blow. As Madara was planning to finish this early, Isshiki uses his technique, Daikokutten, reducing the size of Madara's gunbai. Madara is a little surprised as he wonders what kind of technique this is. My gunbai was turned into a ping-pong racket. He was able to reduce its size. Is it Byakugan? No, it's his right eye. Isshiki uses his ability again as black rods seems to appear out of nowhere piercing Madara's wrist. Madara replies, not bad, but not good enough. Madara continues to analyze the powers of Isshiki as he says. He can uses his right eye to reduce and summons weapons. It too sudden, it not a calling. Madara continues, I think I'm beginning to understand the secret of his dojutsu. Then Madara puts Isshiki in a chokehold in a very epic scene, paralyzing him with a wood style. As the random black rod appeared in Madara's wrist again. Madara's plan was to drive them into the chest of Otsutsuki, but was unsuccessful. As the fight progresses, Madara became adept at seeing the appearing and disappearing black rods. At that exact moment, Isshiki uses the Sukuna Hikona to summon the heavy huge cubes. The panel then cuts to a different story and we are introduced to a female ninja, destroying an unknown shinobi. This female seems to possess the 3 tomo of the Sharingan as well. She tells him that I am supposed to take you for interrogation, but if you tell me everything right now, we'll skip the routine, okay? The shot then cuts to Sasuke. Sasuke said that recruitment does not need getting dirty and dirty using merciless methods. The panel then reveals the female Uchiha to be Narita Uchiha, the youngest daughter of Sasuke and Sakura, age 18. She has a striking resemblance to Itachi Uchiha as well. Sasuke informs he that they need to go. Narita replies that the shinobi she was beating fell from a tree, that's why he is banged up like that. Sasuke then says what a dangerous forest as a joke. It appears that Sasuke's main mission is to gather information about Naruto and his whereabouts. Narita reveals to Sasuke that her mom Sakura and Sarada will be very happy to see him. Sasuke replies that he was walking there. Narita then let's walk together. The shot then cuts back to the fight of Madara versus Isshiki. It seems that Madara managed to escape before getting hit with the cubes, but his clone did not. Isshiki then comments and says that, with clones, impressive strength. Isshiki also reveals that he understands that Madara is using clones to study the enemy's abilities, however, such tactics will not help. Isshiki adds that it doesn't matter how high you try to jump over your head. Man cannot overcome God. Isshiki asks what's next, little did he know. Madara unleashes, with style, deep forest emergence. Madara reveals that he feels his Hashirama cells are regaining their strength, that's why he was able to unleash this devastating technique. We know what happened with this jutsu against the 5 Kages. Isshiki easily escapes and Madara takes the fight seriously. Chapter 6: The Power of the Clan. Isshiki finds himself wandering in an unknown area after Madara has flipped the ground upside down and turned it into a forest using his wood release. As Isshiki delves deeper into the forest, he was attacked from all sides with the vines. He easily evades them as he jumps to avoid getting hit. He also uses his dojutsu Sukuna Hikona, shrinking some vines and branches. Isshiki was wondering if Madara is using this tactic to catch him mid-air. And that's exactly what Madara was planning. However, Isshiki knew half of Madara's plan. In less than a second, Madara was able to reach Isshiki midair as he put his hand on Ishiki's eye, sealing away his dojutsu. So Isshiki has really had enough with this repetitive disrespect, so he charges this death ball, launching Madara away as he says, "Don't think that you can defeat me with this." Luckily, Madara was able to use to Susanoo rib cage to defend himself from the hard fall. Madara explains, "I was able to successfully stamp him. The technique was a success. This sealing jutsu is a technique that I was intended to use against the users of my eyes if they revolt against me." He means Obito. It is powerful enough to seal the Sharingan or Rinnegan, rendering the enemy powerless, and with that, ending this quickly. But in front of me right now is an alien bag with immense chakra, let's see how that will affect him. Madara adds that he has a limited time before Isshiki breaks the seal, that's why he need to wrap up things quickly. As Madara readjusts his dislocated shoulder from the fall, he adds that he still feels his body stiffness. I mean, this is no surprise, Madara was brought back to life like 5 chapters ago. Isshiki said, "Curse him, he managed to seal my right eye." Isshiki turns to Madara and asks him this. "Before your death, I want to ask you something. Tell me how you managed to intercept my portal and pinpoint my location. Can a person know such powerful technique?" Madara adds, "I have disabled your eye. You will not be able to use your dojutsu. Now, I have complete control over this battle." Madara continues, "This battle turned up to be a real disappointment. Show me what you're capable of." Isshiki replies, "Empty talk. I don't even need my eyes to overcome you. Unfortunately for you, the seal is not eternal." At that exact moment, Madara jumps and uses, that's right, a chainsaw. Madara changes his arm into a whirling chainsaw. He activates Shirou, way of the military. Isshiki evades, however Madara is not letting up. He uses Senpu, Rantun Koga, which is a very powerful cutting technique that he used against Sage Mode Naruto during the Fourth Great War. Of course, along with his wood release, Madara also used the Deep Forest Bloom, which is another technique that paralyzes the opponent, rendering him unconscious. Madara explained that Isshiki's movement have slowed down. Then Madara uses the senpu cutting technique as he successfully cuts the horn of Isshiki. With a powerful stand, Madara delivers the finishing blow with his chainsaw hand. Right at that exact moment, Isshiki reveals an ultimate technique. An immense amount of chakra erupt from beneath the earth, shaking the entire ground. Isshiki adds that not even him will withstand this attack without getting damaged. An attack very similar in design to Deidara's final explosion when he fought against Sasuke. Madara is now cornered. What will he do? The attack that Isshiki unleashed resulted in an unimaginable explosion that covered a large area. Shirou, the portal manipulator, is also revealed in this chapter. He said, "Amazing," while watching the fight of Madara versus Isshiki. The power of the Otsutsuki clan is so immense, when compared to the power of humans, it seems limitless. This is definitely not the end. Do not think that the mighty Madara can be taken down with this trick. It appears that Madara activated his Susanoo to survive the blast. However, Madara's Susanoo seemed to have taken damage from the explosion. Madara explains from within his Susanoo. This amount of chakra that was unleashed took a toll upon Isshiki himself as well. He did form a vortex with this chakra that turned everything into dust. I managed to leave the epicenter using the Susanoo technique. I wonder if anyone could survive this explosion without a powerful technique similar to Susanoo. As Madara prepares to continue the fight, a huge white bull emerges from the smoke. Madara asks of this a summoning beast. Madara says that he needs to check something as he uses fire style. In his Susanoo form, great fire of destruction, and the forest bloom he did earlier will help spread the flame of Susanoo even more. And then Madara senses a movement within the fire. Isshiki's white bull survives an attack point blank of fire from a Susanoo as he charges forward. The bull successfully attacks Susanoo, launching it into the sky. Madara understands that the bull cannot fly. So it's time to slaughter it. However, to Madara's surprise, the bull can jump high. Madara reveals that his Susanoo sword is capable of cutting down mountains. Time to end this as Madara charges towards Isshiki's bull with his powerful Susanoo sword. Madara increases the velocity of his Susanoo as he increases the size of the sword as well in a beautiful scene, delivering a very powerful blow to Ishiki's defenses. As the blast between the two titans continues, Madara realizes that Susanoo won't be able to withstand such a powerful surge of large amounts of chakra without consequences. Madara realizes that the best solution is to use his new obtained powers from Hagoromo Otsutsuki. Madara then joins his two hands together in an epic shot. Combine the moon and sun seal. At that exact moment, the Sage of the Six Paths appeared and tells Madara that it will not be easy on Earth, along with the appearance of Indra and Azura as they said to Madara, "You can't turn away from the path you have chosen now. In order to find peace, you have to resist the darkness." As Hagoromo continues his speech, he said, "Madara, considering your past actions, I made a choice in your favor only because that dark path is too easy for you." Madara replies, "You are right, old man." Then the shot cuts to the powers granted by old man Hagoromo surging through the arm of Madara. With the new obtained powers, the vessel of his Susanoo is now capable of containing these large amounts of chakra Isshiki has released. As Madara claps both of his hands together, he allows the Susanoo to absorb this huge amount of chakra. Madara continues that this is the first time he had to work with this amount of chakra. As we see in the shot, Madara works carefully with his Susanoo vessel to not suddenly absorb too much and be destroyed in the process. Isshiki reveals that after all the surge of the attacks, Madara is too resilient for a human. Now it's time to fix that. Isshiki continues. To Ishiki's surprise, Madara resists the latter's strongest attack, evaporating everything in its path. Isshiki continues that he cannot believe he had to resort to this attack that is capable of destroying an entire nation. Upon closer look, we can also see that Isshiki did undergo some changes in his appearance. His horns are now more pronounced along with his white long flowing hair. Isshiki continues that he is just wasting time. All this is just for one measle insect. As the dusts begin to clear off after the attack, as Isshiki said that he is already beginning to feel bored, but he has no idea what he will be dealing with very soon. And then, Indra Susanoo is revealed. Madara activated his most powerful technique, Indra Susanoo. His perfect Susanoo mixed and enhanced with the powers given to him by the sage of the six-path Hagoromo, Otsutsuki. A very powerful Susanoo similar to Indra Susanoo of Sasuke in design, having 6 arms with a fiery core within. Madara explained that he didn't deal with this much chakra before. It's too much to handle. Still, I have the experience of controlling the Jubi, the 10 tails. But now Susanoo is in a condition where its offensive capabilities have greatly enhanced. Now I will focus on offense rather than defense and nothing else. Madara said as he charges up his Indra Susanoo, it's time to end this. The shot then cuts to the Reiko Corporation office. Main activity is medical research. We are introduced to a woman dressed in black and have a very striking resemblance to Kaguya in her facial features. She appears to be the head of this research facility as she continues watching the recording of Madara as he annihilate an entire squad all by himself. The unknown woman explains that he managed to destroy the reinforced tank that he was kept in from the inside. Knocked down the heavy iron armored door like it was nothing. Overcame the security squad despite their skills and advantage in number. The camera provided from the fighter bodies revealed how the fight went down as Madara destroys everyone in his path, a scene very similar to when he was summoned in the war. The mysterious woman asks her subordinate how many fighters were carrying camera bodies. The subordinate answers about 50, we have successfully gathered the most detailed 10 cameras of the fight. The next shot reveals how the fight went down. Madara glides through the squad mercilessly, killing them in a very beautiful image. The woman then reveals that the entire fight lasted around less than a minute. Madara did not allow himself, not even to be touched. The woman seems to be composed with a very strong characters and using cold logic. She does not seem to have any shred of emotion to the squad that was slaughtered by Madara. The woman asks the subordinates, what about the other samples, were they destroyed as well? Alright, this actually brings a very good theory. It seems that not only Madara was being experimented on. Who know who else they are reviving right now? The subordinate replies, no, only the members of the squad were attacked. The remaining samples and research personnel are still intact and in complete order. It seemed that he was trying to leave the place in a hurry. She is talking about Madara. Who could have known that his calm face would reveal his scary nature and dark demeanor? Be that as it may, everything is written in the history books. The mysterious female then tells the subordinate to go on about his day as she will check and resolve the problem. This is when the subordinate goes into a frenzy as he told her decide. Sorry, but do you not understand the scale of the problem? This is Madara Uchiha we are talking about here. Me and my colleagues of this company, our main job is to carry out scientific research about these organisms. Our responsibilities do not include the revival and even real fights against them. We did not sign up for this manslaughter. The mysterious women respond and tell him you know exactly what will happen if you violate the agreement you voluntarily signed by joining our company. I did not force you nor the rest to do this job. So, please do not panic and get back to your assigned occupation. Your research is still far more important. This rebellious sample, she means Madara, do not concern you. I, myself will take control of the Madara issue. This is actually where things get really funny. Take care of the Madara issue, well, good luck with that. The subordinate then apologizes and asks her permission to go back to his official duty as a researcher. Then the next page, cut to a place named the Settlement of Grey Maple. This is a territory under the control of the Shinobi Alliance forces. The first base camp of the Shinobi Alliance. Located in safe area, its location have been partially evacuated and the infrastructure has been formed to the needs of the front. Then we cut to the chief doctor, and she is none other than Sakura Haruno. As she searches in the documents, she comes across a file designated as Uchiha Sasuke, Certification of Combat Prosthetic Left Arm. Then Sakura said that maybe I should convince him to install this prosthetic. In the end, how long can you keep going with only one arm, giving a situation with extra enemies? This would be very difficult to overcome. Sakura continues that she misses the times when everything was good, when Naruto was still with us. As I mentioned guys, in my previous reviews, there is a huge chance that Naruto is sealed, not dead. Sakura continues, right now, Sasuke is doing everything he could to overcome the crisis at hand, and I will follow his example. Then Sakura said, I miss you Sasuke. Right at that exact moment, Sakura heard a voice from a distance. Right then, Sasuke Uchiha opens the door. Sasuke and Sakura are finally reunited after a long time. As the battle rages on, Isshiki reveals to Madara that his pathetic attempt will not reach him and all his efforts will be in vain. Despite the transformation he just have undergone. Besides, it seems that the sealing technique is beginning to disappear a little by little as Isshiki regains his visual prowess. The Otsutsuki reveals that Madara did well up to this point, even stopping his bull, but Isshiki then notices something. As Madara unleashes the full power of the Indra Susanoo with 6 arms, Isshiki reaches his hand and tells him, not so fast, as the bull bites down the Indra Susanoo hand. The bull seems to grab onto the Susanoo hand with great force as Madara does not seem to be bothered by this minor inconvenience. Madara soon realizes that even this alien with infinite chakra have a limited arsenal after all. Madara then released the 6 arms of the new Susanoo as they pin down the huge body of the bull tightly. During the chaos, Isshiki regains his Sukuna Hikona technique as he tries to reduce the full-powered Susanoo of Madara, yet he fails miserably. To Ishiki's surprise, his technique fails against the overwhelming power of the mighty Susanoo. Isshiki, I can't reduce his technique, but why? Madara then gives Isshiki a menacing look. As Madara tightens and wraps the cords around the bull and launches him towards the sky with great force, and then Madara slams the bull into the floor, creating this huge explosion. Madara then comments that this technique is very similar in power to the 1,000-armed goddess of Hashirama, as he remembers the time when he fought Hashirama at full strength. Then the shot cuts to the settlement of Grey Maple, patrol headquarters. Narita, the youngest daughter of Sasuke, and Sakura, the sibling of Sarada, is sitting in an office. An unknown member of the Grey Maple faction seems to address Sarada and asks her, how can we close our eyes to these charges? Even if you are the daughter of Sasuke, we have instructions to follow. Narita replies that their usefulness in the alliance hasn't increased even a little, and thanks to them, she is now working outside and beyond the standards, patrolling outside her square. Narita adds that they sit in these warm offices and think about themselves only, while I, on the other hand, have intervened and did the dirty things myself. That's the difference. And then the ninja with the double scar on his face goes off at Narita and tells her that the prisoners will not be able to tell us any information because she went overboard with the capture. He adds, we are at war Narita, and the success of this alliance depends on each and every one of us. You need to understand that we must act together as one. This war can't be won alone. It all starts with discipline and relationship. Where's your discipline Narita? Where are your ninja equipments? What kind of hairstyle is this? Then he adds that she can be killed for this, for not following instructions. Narita then smiles and replies, well, I can handle myself, even when I am completely alone. It's you weak people, who always have to struggle and search for support. Then Narita adds, how about this, can you demonstrate the praise of teamwork that you speak so highly of, right here and now? Also we will check at the same time, your opinion about my hair. And then Narita gave him the Sharingan look, then she bursted laughing as if it was a joke. Of course the ninja got scared and then he walked off and said, it wasn't even worth trying. As Narita sees the silhouette of group of people getting closer, she tells them then he'll go now, but she is stopped by a woman. Can you guess who? Lady Tsunade, as she walks confidently towards her. I can't be the only one who missed her. Right? Narita seems to be surprised and in shock at the same time. Tsunade tells her that this whole situation doesn't seem to be working with you. After all, Narita does not listen to anyone. And the lectures are no use as well. Narita replies as she tries to clarify her stand, they were just getting in the way, I'm only confident in my abilities that I'm right, Tsunade-sama. They seem to doubt me and fall out. And this only hinders me from doing my job. Tsunade stays silent for a moment, then she replies, you know, I've experienced a lot in this life, and I've seen a lot, including people of different generations. But this is only one of the options. It is impossible to determine that exactly, how much ways are such people often will influence your destiny. Tsunade continues. Narita, you are following a path that does not bounds anything good, and goes against the principles that we, the Alliance, are trying to grow into the young generation. Your father, also, was wrong once, but thanks to the 7th Hokage he was able to change and step on the right path, trading darkness with light. There are even more vile examples, when darkness completely consumed one man. And I, as a former Hokage, cannot allow this curse to be reborn. We are now brought back into the fierce battle between the two titans, Madara says in a sarcastic manner. Are you still hoping for something as he lies his eyes on the destroyed body of the bull? Right at that exact moment, a huge wave of chakra seems to round up and infuse into earth. Madara comments that Isshiki is trying to fuse with this dimension. His chakra levels are spiking to an immeasurable levels. Isshiki now has become earth itself. Isshiki comments that he never thought he'd resort to using this against a person, but this proves, once again, that this man is a threat to the Otsutsuki plans on Earth. He must be dealt with here and now, before he becomes a bigger problem. Isshiki then transforms the surface of Earth into a month as it opens and charges chakra from the environment as it creates a huge Gododama. It increases with the help of natural energy drawing to it directly from this dimension as Madara comments. Isshiki then forms a massive death ball directly aimed at Madara as the latter tightens up his Susanoo and brace for the massive attack. Madara then realizes that Isshiki is creating a new dimension as he charges this massive death ball. Madara gets serious as he explains that the spatial Rinnegan technique does not work. This is probably to the technique of Isshiki, creating outside and inner interference between dimensions. Between time and space itself. Well, in this case, I have no choice but to use Izana Gi. The dojutsu that changes and recreates realities. Chapter 10, Father's Lesson. We are now seeing a memory of Madara when he was trained by his father, Taijima Uchiha. We see him asks Madara about his actions. What if he encountered an enemy far stronger than he is? How will he handle that? Young Madara with a boastful laugh answers, that would be hardly possible for me to be defeated in a battle. Young Madara adds, you know father, I am the best of the best. I can take out an entire squad in a 1 versus 1 battle, no one can defeat me in a fight. But how? Taijima Uchiha answers as he adds, then let's go in another way and put your theory of being undefeated to the test. In a split second, Taijima Uchiha activates his Mangekyo Sharingan as young Madara is slightly shocked. Young Madara takes a step back and draws his weapon as he anticipates his father attack. Taijima Uchiha did not only activates his Mangekyo Sharingan but also his Susanoo as well. Madara reveals that this is the first time that his father uses the Mangekyo Sharingan to train with him. Madara understands that Taijima Uchiha is taking this fight seriously. Madara also reveals that this is a great opportunity to understand and analyze what these eyes are truly capable of. Madara tries to attack with his knife, but it's futile as we know that the defense of the Susanoo is impenetrable. Taijima Uchiha tells Madara that he has made an incorrect choice. That he needs to try again. As the arm of the Susanoo forms, then delivers an attack with a powerful blow. Madara widens the distance as he steps back from the Susanoo. Taijima Uchiha explains, these eyes have great abilities and this is one of them. Its name is Susanoo, as a very powerful Susanoo takes shape, creating this scary strong aura around it. We have to admit guys that Taijima's Susanoo looks epic in design. Taijima adds, this is the absolute protection of our clan, the Susanoo. Taijima then asks Madara in a sarcastic manner, "Now tell me, how are you going to counter this? You are the best." Madara seems to have increased his focus and analytic thinking as Taijima swings a very powerful blow from the Susanoo, destroying everything in its path. Madara evades, but his father is not letting up. Another powerful swing directed right at Madara. Madara escapes unscathed another time as he counterattacks the Susanoo with Ka-tun, Housenka no Jutsu. But Madara's attack does nothing. Taijima swings his Susanoo a third time as Madara evades as he attacks the Susanoo with a kick.
Bruh.
Madara comments that his weapons, Taijitsu and even ninjutsu, are useless against it. "I wasn't able to land a single scratch." Madara realizes that it is time for him to stand back and think about a plan, a strategy, to take down this mighty Susanoo. Madara then uses a smoke grenade as he tactically retreats to think of a plan to counter the technique of his father. Taijima Uchiha asks, "A smoke bomb? Well, so be it, I'll give you a little time to think of a strategy." Madara wastes no time as he uses a projectile that contains a minerals that obstructs the user's Sharingan. Taijima Uchiha quickly finds out about this trick. Then the next panel shows Madara, "None of my tricks will work, so I'll make him use his power against himself." How didn't I think about this immediately? Madara checks his weapons as he reveals that he only has 2 explosive seals, so he needs to improvise to make this work. Madara then tries to create a simulation inside his head as it helps him to envision how his well-devised plan will play out against the Susanoo. He finds a huge log and begins his simulation. So Madara takes off his robe and wrap it over a huge log, then he pulls the log up and cover it with explosives. Madara then throws fire spits to try to lure his father into getting closer. Taijima Uchiha reveals that time is up, and swings his attack right at the direction of the fire attack of Madara. Right at that exact moment, Madara released the log covered with the explosives as Taijima counters with his Susanoo. Taijima Uchiha reveals that this was a good strategy but not good enough. Madara was successful at impeding the Susanoo and delivering a very efficient counter-attack, but the fight is still far from over as we are taken to the present day with the fight against Isshiki. As the fight nears its end, Isshiki continues charging this massive black death ball. This attack was so huge that it reached the sky. Madara ascends with his Indra Susanoo towards the sky in order to try and stop the attack, because if he wouldn't, it will destroy the entire planet. Madara adds, "No matter how strong the enemy might be, you can always try to use its power against himself." As Madara charges up his Susanoo, he said, "Now, I'll teach you how to use chakra correctly." As the hands of the Susanoo expands, Isshiki replies, "Come on, run and cling to your pathetic life. That is all your species are capable of, but it never happened to me, because I am different from you." Madara clenches his fist as he concentrates and charges his chakra. "Once I asses the measurement of this attack, I will destroy with one single blow." As the 3 arms of the Susanoo twist together and fuse to create this huge gumbai made of chakra. Both Isshiki and Madara prepare for one final clash. Isshiki adds, "I will use all of my remaining chakra, including the bull from earlier, to add power to this mega death ball as much as possible." As for Madara's side, Madara also adds chakra to his huge gumbai as he said this should work. And then the clash begins as Madara Uchiha strikes the death ball with his huge gumbai. Madara descends from the sky with incredible speed as he uses Senpu, Susanoo, Planetary Guardian Uchiha. As you can see guys, the huge Susanoo of Madara is very small in comparison to the death ball of Isshiki, but it packs a very powerful attack. Madara rips through the attack as Isshiki is shocked and begins to bleed. Isshiki still has no idea what is happening. He thought that Madara would perish with his final attack, but he thought wrong. Madara descends from the sky as he slices the black death ball to pieces. Isshiki wonders how could this be possible. We do know that Isshiki have fused with Earth in the previous chapter, so this could make him an easy target given his inability to move or counter-attack. We are then showing Isshiki as the crystal of Sukuna Hakuna inside his eyes begins to break. As Madara clenches his fist and continues the attack, he adds, "This is easier than I thought." The clash ends as Isshiki's attack is ripped to shreds. The clash of both attacks destroys the entire land as the next shot shows the body of Isshiki ripped in half as he bleeds to death. I have to say guys that looking at Isshiki in this state is so satisfying. After all he did, he could never defeat Madara in this story. Madara adds, "You thought that I would certainly die. Didn't you? Well, I'm sorry to disappoint you," as Madara leans towards the dying body of Isshiki. Then the Sage of the Six Paths, Hagoromo, appears and says, as he floats in his domain, "This didn't turn out to be such a bad idea." The next shot shows Narita as he leaves the headquarters. She seems to be in a bad mood. "Always, I have always to do the work for everyone, and then gets blamed for it. This is not fair." As we mentioned in the previous chapters guys, Narita is the second daughter of Sasuke. She adds, "At least they said thank you." Few minutes later she runs into Himawari, so they start like to spar for a bit as they seem to be best friends. I hope Narita does not unalive her best friend to obtain the Mangekyo Sharingan in the future. We might see that fight, who knows. They go grab something to eat and then they start this very interesting conversation. Narita says to Himawari that there are no news about your father's disappearance, but I promise you that we will be the saviors of your father. It is necessary that we find a way. Then she smiles and say, "We definitely will." Himawari replies, "Okay, but you don't have to do this alone." Then Chocho appears, and she says, "Young ones, did you forget about training today?" And then she adds, "What is this that you are eating?" "Pizza." She grabs the pizza and eats it. She comments, "That's so delicious." Then Narita and Himawari split up, as Himawari goes with Chocho to train. Sasuke stares at himself in the mirror and he focuses on his left eye. He reminisces on what happened that day. He means the time at the end of chapter 1 when his eyes begin to bleed uncontrollably when Madara Uchiha was able to escape and then activates his Sharingan as well. Sasuke said that he did not sense any further deviation from his Rinnegan. It is returned to its normal state now. The fight will show it when it come to the use of the Rinnegan. I must be ready. Sakura joins him. They play hide the zucchini. And then they move on to talk about bigger things. Sasuke thanks Sakura for taking care of her by kissing her on her forehead. Sakura replies that she is always happy to tend to his wounds. Sasuke reveals his concerns about his former master Kakashi and his unstable health conditions. Sakura reveals that Kakashi had to terminate his powers due to worsening state. After giving up his position as the Rukudaimai, his health is worsening. It is revealed by the author that Kakashi uses an oxygen mask to help him breathe as he lies unconscious. Sasuke is shocked after he hears this. Sasuke regains his composure and asks who is the Hokage now. Sakura replies, "Concerning this matter, a decision soon to be made will determine who will take up this position. Now the command is exercised by the Council of Elders, which is headed by Tsunade-sama." Sasuke replies as he wears his badass Uchiha t-shirt, "Understood." Sasuke carries on, "From the 7th team, as it was originally 4 members, there are only the 2 of us now. I can't believe that things would deteriorate to this extent. First Naruto, now Kakashi-sensei is in trouble." Sakura shakes nervously as she intertwines her fingers. She says, "I worry about you. If something happened to you as well, the fate of the alliance will be lost. It would be better if you would put a prosthetic battle arm." On that very day, she means the day Sasuke lost his arm in a battle against Naruto. "It will be better if you stop giving advantages to the enemies. A missing arm in a life or death situation would be fatal." Sakura continues as she keeps crying, "I do not know what's on your mind. What do you hope to achieve through this atonement?" So guys, some may know, some may not. The reason why Sasuke didn't regain his arm or put a prosthetic arm like Naruto is making some form of atonement for his past action as a renegade ninja. Realizing the consequences of his actions, Sasuke decided that it will be his physical reminder to repent and seek redemption. Sasuke replies that everything will be fine. He hugs her and tells her and advises her to keep her head cool. "Your level-headedness is needed, especially during this period. The lives of hundreds of fighters are in your hands." Sasuke advises her to calm down as he agrees to put on a prosthetic arm. Then they got interrupted by Narita Uchiha. Sasuke tells her to come already. Keep in mind, guys, that the characters in this story may have the same name but have slightly different personalities, as it is shown here that Sasuke is very open and cheerful towards his wife. Narita interrupts them and informs them that she did not come empty-handed. Today's menu is cooked by Sister Hima. Dear parents, come please to the table. Narita adds that someone will be very happy to see you, daddy. Sasuke replies, let's be more specific. Narita replies, about the one who is waiting? How you say it? A young one, but extremely promising candidate for the title of Hokage. She means Sarada. Both of you could not meet because of high business on both sides, and finally it will happen. Narita continues, you already understand everything, right? In general, you will see everything for yourself, don't be late. We cut now the part you are here for, the Madara battle. We are taken to the dimension where Madara and Isshiki fought. Madara delivers another blow to Isshiki, already cut in half, body ripping it to pieces, like there is nothing left, only splatters of blood. Madara gets possession of the Sukuna Hikona Byakugan of Isshiki, as he says that this won't be used to you anymore. The reason why Madara took his eye was to get his Gunbai back. If you guys remember, back in chapter 5 page 7, Isshiki was successful at reducing the size of Madara's Gunbai in an instant. Madara adds that this unicorn, he means Isshiki, went to the other world without saying a word, but what's more annoying is that I was not able to ask him before the overkill. Ask him on how I can return my Gunbai. This dimension is about to collapse with him within, I do not have much time right now. Madara continues, I'm not sure yet, but maybe his eye will help me figure it out. Right at that moment, Sukuna Hikona was performed on its own on the hand of Madara. Black rod seems to emanate and damage the right hand of Madara. Madara grips the eye as he rips it to shred and say, this will not help me now. Madara claps his hands together as he says, this leaves me now choice. We do know that Madara's chakra is drained from battle as he tries to collect energy left from the environment around him. Madara questions if he will be able to overcome this interference and escape this dimension. The ghost of the Uchiha says, well, if you don't try, you never know, and then Madara created a small portal in hope of escaping this realm. The portal was very small, and it did fade away slowly until it closes. Luckily for Madara, Shirou, the observer, notices this instantly, and tried to create a portal for Madara to help him escape. Shirou has one of the most unique abilities as he is able to create and manipulate portals. Luckily, he was able to pinpoint the exact location of Madara after the battle and lend him a hand. Using his portal expanding technique, Shirou was able to widen the portal, however it is very unstable. Shirou sees Madara as he screams, hurry Madara-san, I can only stabilize the portal for mere seconds, you must hurry now. Madara notices the observer, as he launches towards the portal in an amazing speed, leaving everything behind to collapse inside that dimension. Madara succeeds to enter the portal in the nick of time right before it closes forever. Shirou was breathing heavily as he was pushed beyond his limits. He notices Madara before him completely exhausted as well, unable to stand up after the draining battle. Now the chapter cut to the third part where Sasuke is going to meet Sarada. Since Sasuke is constantly on missions, he was not able to see the growth of his first daughter, and after the disappearance of the 7th Hokage, Sarada went immediately into serving the village. They could never find a moment to meet. But by this chance, Sasuke returned home before his oldest daughter went out on missions. Sasuke is seen going on stairs that led to a place in a mountain. He stops and sees his daughter. She seems to be standing next to someone else, but the only one revealed is Sarada. So this is the first time Sarada was shown in Manga Madara. With the help of Shirou, the portal manipulator, Madara was able to escape the deteriorating world after his fight against Isshiki. Madara tells Shirou that in thanking him, he will not use force to extract information, he will just ask him. As we can see, Madara did sustain some heavy battle damage. Madara asks Shirou, what do you know about my resurrection, what's the reason behind it? After using Izanagi, Madara did lose his eye, but what is surprising that he kept spare eyes in Hashirama's face. As it was shown in the manga panel, Madara reaches inside the face protruding from his chest and acquires a new Sharingan eye. Shirou replies, Madara, I am afraid I have nothing to tell you. As I have said before, I am just an observer. I am not the one manipulating behind the scenes nor the writer of the script. Simply put, I only look at things from the side, and a lot can slide from one person's gaze. Madara and Shirou stay silent for a moment. And just like that, Madara reveals to Shirou that he actually believes him, and tells him stay healthy. Shirou, as Madara uses his Rinnegan to open up a portal. Shirou asks Madara, can I know where you are heading? Madara replies with this, life has taught me not to trust anyone's words. With my own eyes I am going to see the state of the world right now. First, I will look into my home, the village of the Hidden Leaf. Shirou replies that he actually wants to offer help to Madara. Madara was quite surprised actually. Shirou continues that Madara has spared his life and treated him respectfully. In return, he will help him with the preparation of going out and meeting people. Shirou continues, I suggest acquiring these equipments, body cams, the shinobi special equipment, medical assistance. Any wound caused by an Otsutsuki members requires special kind of treatment. Also, I suggest a shower. You can see here guys, Shirou is such a beast for saying that Madara needs a shower. Which was actually funny. Shirou continues, Madara, your body is infused with the remaining of the component of Isshiki. You are going to need special treatment. As if Madara was impregnated with something, it is then shown that his stomach is bulging. Even Madara realizes that he needs analysis and examination after this unknown injury. Shirou continues that after his fight with this member of the Otsutsuki, the whole world is in debt. The next shot cuts to a temple deep within the forest, located in a mountain. An unknown Otsutsuki member seem to be preparing some kind of rituals. From within the fire, a body begins to materialize, and to everyone's shock, it is Isshiki Otsutsuki. However, it seems that it is not his real body, only a spirit. Isshiki says to the one member that summoned him, listen to me carefully, this is my last will. I want you to find that man, the person who caused my death. He is a force to be reckoned with. He must be responsible for his actions, the action of killing a sacred member of the Otsutsuki clan. You will be able to recognize him with eyes, the eyes that hold the powers of the six paths. The unone member replies, so the six paths is the power of the outcast. Is he able to resist the power of the Otsutsuki? Keep in mind guys that Isshiki is speaking throughout the spiritual world. He will not be back or be brought back alive. Isshiki continues that Madara has powerful allies, and he will be smart to keep this in mind. Isshiki went silent for a moment because he felt a third presence, and out of nowhere, the temple explodes. The member that summoned the Otsutsuki spirit, which his name is Yuri, was able to withstand the explosion using some form of defense shield. Isshiki screams that Yuri must survive and tell the High Kobiti about this problem. Now hurry up and get out of here. Yuri says that if he stays here he will die. I have to survive and fulfill His Majesty's last request. And then out of nowhere, Yuri gets annihilated, his face and neck were sliced, he dies instantly. Isshiki is shocked. He tries to grasp the situation and what is going on, and then we have a silhouette of someone who was able to destroy the guards and the remaining members of the Otsutsuki clan that were residing in that temples deep in the mountains. The chapter ends with Isshiki, a new Otsutsuki clan member, the one who brought wrath upon the temple, and he seems very powerful as he was able to strike fear in the heart of Isshiki. Chapter 14 starts with Isshiki standing as he stares into the fleeting spirit of Isshiki into the sky. He turns and asks a girl, "Are you afraid of me?" This really looks like he is about to rip her head off, because he is emanating a threatening aura. However, he doesn't. Isshiki tells her not to be afraid. "I see that you still have something inside you. That is doubt. And for that specific reason you are still breathing. I'm sorry, but you will have to come with me." Then a portal opens. A portal very similar to the portal that Madara and Sasuke uses to travel. Alright. It seems that someone very similar to Shirou was handed the girl as he enters the portal. I do not believe that the person helping Isshiki is Shirou. But then again, given his abilities to pinpoint locations and appears at anywhere anytime, this could actually be him. Isshiki spares the girl for an unknown reason. And then he tells the person who got out of the portal, pick it up and start researching immediately. It is also possible that Isshiki was the one who sent Shirou the portal manipulator to intersect and help Madara along his journey. Isshiki adds that we now have experimental samples. Everything went to the most positive scenario. And then the shot cuts to the water drop. And we have a big and unexpected reveal in the next page. As Isshiki enter the astral realm of the Sage of the Six Paths. It seems that Isshiki can contact the Sage of the Six Paths at will. He goes on to say that hybrids of Otsutsuki and humans will pose a huge problem, Hagoromo. This will significantly influence the situation at the front. Now another big reveal is that Isshiki is actually a good guy with good intentions. Isshiki carries on to say that the High Assembly is beginning to guess about my activities here. And this could pose another threat to the plans ahead. Hagoromo replies, and how does this pose a threat to Earth? Isshiki answers, and continues to explain that the containment that he has put to keep the Otsutsuki clan in check is weakening, and even stopped working. This means that it is time to act before it's too late, and I do indeed have a plan. However, I will need you to help a little. Isshiki continues that he needs to bring someone back to life. So now the author of Manga Madara drops another big reveal. It seems that the master plan of reviving Uchiha Madara was Ishiki's doing all along. He was the one who proposed his revival to Hagoromo. He was the one who planned everything involving Madara's return and not Hagoromo. The best remedy to counter the Otsutsuki clan is a man that has actually acquired their powers before. And the shot cuts back to the present day where Isshiki is walking and he said, "Good job Uchiha Madara, thanks to you, we are now ahead of the game with couple of moves. So now we need to update our info about the story of Madara Uchiha revival. He was brought back by Isshiki, and Isshiki is actually a good guy." The chapter now cuts to another story. The reunion of Sasuke and Sarada. Sarada hugs her father closely as she tells him how much she missed him. Sasuke comments and tells Sarada that you really have grown. Sarada looking proud to hear that she carries on to say that you've been really supplied dad, mama have been nice to you. She did really power you up. Sasuke replies that Sakura did indeed power me up, but through food. Even when I was far away during the missions. She made sure to send me food transferred through guys from the Alliance. Sasuke continues to talk about Narita and how she is capable of eating large amounts of food, which was really funny, and then he asks her what about you Sarada and her application for becoming a Hokage. Sarada replies that this will be her last mission before taking up the position of Hokage. Alright guys, this is huge news that will impact the story in a large scale. In this story created and drawn by Deontay art, Sarada have proved that she is most capable of taking on the mantle of the Hokage as she has revealed unique abilities and a fitting caliber to be a Hokage and lead the Leaf Village. Sasuke replies that he is proud of his daughter as Sarada's eyes fills up with tears of joy. After that Sarada's companion enter the conversation and tells Sasuke that he has to borrow Sarada back because it is time for the mission, so if you forgive me we have to be going now. Sarada seems a little sad because she didn't had enough time to be with her father and enjoy this joyful family moment. Sasuke actually notices that, so he does the same gesture Itachi uses in the past. He puts his finger on Sarada's forehead and tells her to chin up. This proves how much Sasuke loves and is proud of his daughter Sarada. Sasuke tells his daughter good luck on your mission as he heads back to the village. The next page cuts to the former Hokage Tsunade as she seems to be preparing a prosthetic hand for Sasuke. The description reads the following. The prosthetic was grown from Senju Hashirama cells and adjusted in accordance with the anthropometry of Sasuke Uchiha obtained from a detailed study of his previous lost hand. By analogy, a system of muscles, ligaments and blood circulation was restored, and the latest technology was used during this work. After the rehabilitation is completed and the prosthetic is accepted by the body, the hand is synchronized with the natural process of the body, including wear and aging. It will be almost a complete replacement for the lost arm, without defects, both cosmetic and functional. The rehabilitation period will take about a month, and during this time it is necessary to wear a specially designed cover at the place of mounting to monitor its operation, and if any improvements are detected inform the medics as soon as possible. Sasuke need to avoid exercise for the first week after the operation. Tsunade then turns and asks Sakura how was she able to create this arm and even convince Sasuke into performing the operation. But Sakura is busy, she replies, let me take the measurement for calibration. I took a pre-prepared prosthetic arm as a basis and worked a little with the parameters in accordance with the measurements. Tsunade replies, impressive and in such a short amount of time as well. Sakura replies, thank you. As long as I have time I am considering installing the denture myself today. Tsunade asks another question. What about the clinic? Who will help in performing this operation? Sakura replies, Kokomi-chan. She is a capable girl, besides, I had everything prepared before I left. And then the shot cuts to Sasuke heading towards the clinic. Give this video a like if you did enjoy it. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel Blast Art so you get notified as soon as a new chapter is dropped. You can also guys consider supporting me on my Patreon page. The Twitter account of Deontay Art will be in the description, so please guys go ahead and show her the support she deserves. I will also link the manga if you want to read it yourself, however, it is in Russian. I am the one translating the manga into videos. I hope you have enjoyed this video. I will be seeing you in the next review. Have a wonderful day everyone.